Act 5, Scene 3 of Romeo and Juliet, aka the one where everybody dies. Oh, come on, don't look so surprised. We knew this was going to happen in the prologue, page 1 of the play, but even though we knew how it was going to end, that still doesn't make this ending scene any less tragic. The scene opens in the cemetery with Paris and his page, a servant who has come with him, because Paris is there to pay his respects to and grieve for Juliet. So he's busy grieving in the tomb, and at that point, Romeo and Balthazar arrive from Mantua. So remember, Balthazar is the guy who told Romeo that Juliet is dead. Thanks a lot, Balthazar. And Romeo has returned in order to kill himself next to Juliet. Romeo tells Balthazar to keep watch and let him do what he's there to do. Balthazar's a little uneasy, but he's like, yeah, right, that's fine. So he waits outside. As Romeo enters the tomb, he finds Paris there near the entrance, and Paris recognizes him on the spot and says, "You, Romeo Montague, you who killed Tybalt, what can you possibly be up to here but no good? I need you to leave. Actually, scratch that. I'm going to perform a citizen's arrest, and I'm going to take you into the prince, because if you came back to Verona, you were supposed to be executed." But Romeo, desperate to carry out his suicidal plan, says, "I can't let you do that. I'm not going anywhere." They fight. Romeo stabs Paris, and as Paris is dying, he makes one final request to be buried next to Juliet, which Romeo agrees to. So Paris is dead. Romeo walks in alone, and he sees Juliet lying there, supposedly dead. However, even though we all know that she's probably going to wake up any moment now, and that Friar Lawrence is going to arrive any moment now, Romeo does not slow down except to give a really long speech about how strange it is, how lifelike Juliet looks, and how there's color in her cheeks, and she looks like she's sleeping, because she's about to wake up, Romeo! But he doesn't know that, and he drinks the potion, and true to the apothecary's word, it kills him quickly. So Romeo's dead. We flash back outside of the tomb where Balthazar is keeping watch as instructed, and Friar Lawrence runs up, puffing and puffing, we hope, although it does seem like he's taken his sweet time in getting there, and he sees Balthazar and is confused about what he's doing there. And when Balthazar tells him that he has accompanied Romeo, and Romeo has been in the tomb for about 30 minutes doing who knows what, Friar Lawrence is like, oh no. So he leaves Balthazar out in the cemetery, runs into the tomb, finds dead Paris, finds dead Romeo, and at that moment, Juliet wakes up. She's confused. Where's Romeo? The friar does try to stop her from seeing Romeo's body, and he's trying to get her out of there as soon as possible without her discovering what happened to Romeo, because if you remember, when she came to him for help originally, when she had to marry Paris, she was ready to kill herself if she couldn't be with Romeo. So the friar remembers this, and that's why he's trying to rush her out of the tomb, but Juliet does see Romeo, is very upset, understandably, and as she is grieving and trying to figure out what's happened, there's a commotion outside because somebody, probably Paris's page, has raised the alarm, and people from the city are coming to the cemetery. The friar freaks out. He's like, "We gotta get out of here." And Juliet says, "I'm not leaving." And Friar Lawrence, in a moment of the absolutely worst thing you can do when somebody is suicidal, leaves her there. So what do you think Juliet does? Exactly what we expected. She takes Romeo's dagger and she stabs herself and dies next to him. At this moment, the prince arrives, the Capulets arrive, the Montagues arrive, Balthazar's there somewhere, Paris's page is there somewhere, and they are all very confused about what's happened, particularly because Romeo's there, Paris is dead, and Juliet is freshly dead, which is very confusing. Friar Lawrence shows up, and he tells them the whole story. While this is going on, we find out that Lady Montague is dead of grief, and the characters, as a result of all of this death and tragedy and the double suicide, end the feud and make amends because they realized they've been completely ridiculous this whole time, and all of the tragedy could have been avoided if they had just let it go.